An absolute massive report just came out regarding one of the superstars on the Cincinnati Bengals that needs an extension. And I know you guys don't like me to try to hide who it is, but it's Trey Hendrickson. I'm going to dive in to the latest reports involving Trey Hendrickson and his trade rumors slash not being traded. And we're going to talk about all that good stuff today. I know we talked about it last video, but there's more recent news that literally just came out literally right after I posted that video. So thank you, NFL Insiders, for posting it as soon as I posted my video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for all the love you guys have shown the channel. We're on the road to 1,500 subscribers. We're getting there inch by inch, and I can't thank you guys enough for liking, watching, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. And let's keep it up. But let's jump right into the report. So obviously it is involving Trey Hendrickson and his trade process with the Cincinnati Bengals, or lack of being traded, considering this latest report that just came out. Just in, the Bengals are fully prepared to negotiate a new deal with edge rusher Trey Hendrickson. A trade is, listen to this, off the table for Trey Hendrickson. So it is official. My prediction was correct that Trey Hendrickson is now officially off the trade block. He will no longer be traded. Bengals and Trey are now in full conversations on how to get an extension done with Trey Hendrickson. And that is obviously exactly what the Cincinnati Bengals wanted to hear. If we get through this offseason and we have signed everybody that we wanted to sign, and I would say if we just bring in one more guard, realistically just sign Brandon Scherff and then extend Trey Hendrickson, I think that's an A-plus offseason for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they did exactly what they needed to do. Obviously, still with the draft coming up, my prediction, like I've said, I'm not an insider, but with my feeling and gut feeling around Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati Bengals, he is going to be extended. And that sounds exactly what's going to happen. But even still, with the draft coming up, we should be looking at edge rushers to draft. So that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the video, just kind of highlighting some of the players we've already talked about. And every single one of these players I'm going to talk about, we've already talked about or I've mentioned in previous videos. But with Trey Hendrickson hopefully getting extended, Joseph Ossai getting extended, and hopefully Myles Murphy stepping up, and obviously with Sam Hubbard retiring, we're going to need some more depth in our edge rushing room. In the draft, this draft is the draft to do it, so I'm going to go through some of the guys that I think we should be on the lookout for. First, Mike Green, edge rusher from Marshall. This dude is an absolute monster, and this is in no order. Not like my favorites. It's just the guys that I want to talk about. Mike Green, once again, from Marshall. Edge rusher, 6'4", 248 pounds, absolute monster. 2024 had 81 total tackles, 38 solo tackles. Listen to this. If you want to replace Trey Hendrickson, but not replace him, but add another Trey Hendrickson, draft Mike Green. 17 sacks this season, 3 forced fumbles. PFF grade-wise, he has scored an overall 92.4 overall among all edge rushers. Obviously, he is not playing in the most elite competition of college football, but with his talent and what he was able to do in the conference he is in, he is going to be an absolute game changer in the NFL. So if he's there at 17, it would be hard to pass him up. Next, another guy I've talked about a lot, James Pierce Jr., edge rusher from Tennessee. Obviously, as you can see, 6'5", 243 pounds. 2024, he had 38 total tackles, 23 solo tackles, 7.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. PFF grade-wise, 87.1. Another guy that is there at 17 would be hard to pass him up. If all 4 of these guys are there at 17, then I'm talking about 4 players, by the way. If all 4 of those players are there at 17, that's going to be we have an insane pick, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of talent still there at 17, and I think there's going to be a lot of positions that we need that have a lot of talent at 17. So it's going to be hard to really solidify which one we go after, even though I think most likely it will be Walter Nolan. But that could easily change considering, we brought in TJ Slayton, all that good stuff. But Mike Green and James Pierce Jr., I'm expecting them to go in the first round. These 2 next guys could go in the first round, but I am expecting Mike Green and James Pierce Jr. to go in the first round. So if we want either of them, they have to fall to 17, and they have to be our pick at 17. I don't see them falling to the second round. These 2 guys, I don't think they should, but I do see them falling to the second round. Some even say the third round. I don't understand. But obviously, do we all know where Sam Hubbard went to college? If you know me, if you watch enough of my videos, you probably are assuming where he went to college. Yes, he went to Ohio State. So I think it's only fair if we replace Sam Hubbard with some Buckeyes. First, JT Tuimoloau, JTT. Obviously, edge rusher from Ohio State would be a perfect replacement for Sam Hubbard. 6'5", 269 pounds, 2024, 61 total tackles, 35 of them solo, 12 and a half sacks. He gets after the quarterback like crazy. Oh my goodness, the speed, the agility, everything, absolutely insane. 2 forced fumbles, and in PFF grade-wise last season, 86.2. Absolute game changer. He is the main thing, and I watched a lot of Buckeye games, obviously. The main thing JTT struggles with is, I feel, consistent dominance, if that makes sense. He'll have one game where he's having 3 sacks, 3 QB pressures, 3 QB hits, all over the ball, having passes deflected, all that good stuff. But then the next game, it's kind of like irrelevant. He's like not there. So I think that's the one thing JTT has to work on in the NFL, is being consistently dominant every single game, and I think he can do that, especially if you pair him up with a guy like Trey Hendrickson and with a defensive coordinator who he faced, not the defense obviously, but he faced Notre Dame in the national championship. If you pair him with Al Golden and Trey Hendrickson, I think that could turn into a deadly pass rush with Trey Hendrickson on one side and JTT on the other side. And then another Buckeye who I think would be a huge deal in Ohio, because he's from Ohio, went to Ohio State, wants to stay in Ohio. Jack Sawyer is the other Buckeye I'm talking about. Edge rusher, obviously from Ohio State. Jack Sawyer, 6'5", 260 pounds, 2024 at 59. Total tackles, 25 of them solo tackles. 9 sacks. He, just like JTT, gets after the quarterback. 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception. PFF grade-wise, 2024, 90.5. What I love so much about Jack Sawyer, and yes, I'm biased, so I will clarify that, yes, I am very biased towards my Buckeyes, but his passion for his teams and coaches is unlike anybody you could draft this year. 100%. 100%. Go watch him speak about Ryan Day, the Ohio State coach. Watch his interviews and when he talks about Ryan Day. It's absolutely insane. He has passion. He has love. He has dedication for every single one of his teammates and his coaches. But he's from Ohio. He's an Ohio kid. Keeping him in Ohio, especially replacing him or replacing our old Ohio guy with the new Ohio guy, Jack Sawyers, and 3rd round? Are you kidding me? I don't understand. I don't think he would be there at the 3rd round, but getting Jack Sawyers 3rd round, late 2nd, an absolute steal with his passion, his talent, his raw talent. Kind of same thing with JTT, just being that consistent, dominant force. Once again, if you pair him with Trey Hendrickson on one side and then defensive coordinator Al Golden on the other side, absolute deadly pass rush. With any of these 4 guys, obviously all 4 of them have stuff to work on, but if you combine them with Trey Hendrickson and Al Golden, my green monster will continue to be a monster. James Pierce Jr. monster will continue to be a monster. JTT, absolute monster, will continue to be a monster. Jack Sawyers, absolute monster, will continue to be a monster. But I think any of those 4 guys would be an absolute steal. Not steal, but considering you would have to draft them pretty high. So let me change my wording. But would absolutely be a masterclass of a pick pairing them up with Trey Hendrickson, especially in the draft where we need defense. And this is the defensive draft. This is like the most recent draft I can think about that is loaded with defensive talent at every position pretty much, especially defensive line, especially defensive edge rush. So many players. I could have gone on with 8 more players if I wanted to, but those are the 4 that I would be not interested in the most, but just that stuck out to me. Once again, Mike Green, from edge rusher from Marshall. So listen to all these names. James Pierce Jr., edge rusher from Tennessee. Then 2 Buckeyes, JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State. Obviously, Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. I think it just makes perfect sense. Replace an Ohio guy with a new Ohio guy, especially Jack Sawyers, who is from Ohio, played at Ohio State, and would play for the Bengals, staying in Ohio his entire career, just like Sam Hubbard. It would be, boom, like storybook ending for Sam Hubbard, replacing him with another Ohio guy, especially a Buckeye. Absolutely, I don't think it can get more beautiful than that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. Once again, on the road to 15 100 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for all the love you show on the channel. I can't put into words how much I appreciate it. But don't forget to like this video, comment down below how you feel about Trey Hendrickson being off the trade block and Bengals actually trying to extend him. And then let me know how you feel about Mike Green, James Pierce Jr., JTT, and Jack Suarez. I want to know which one of the 4 you would like to see in the stripes the most. But thank you so much for watching. For the Bengals Digest channel, I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing one, and God bless.